Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei and we are here for the morning forecast, the show where we look at whether it's going to be a thundery day in the markets, if it's going to be a sideways moving action day, or a day that we all love and want to see where everything goes up and we make money. Well, right now there is a few tokens going up. There is Flare token up a fair amount right now, up 6%. We've got Arweave up 6%, CRO moving up. So we do have some altcoins on the move today. Bitcoin slightly higher, holding that $16,000 level, currently at 18,000. But the star of the show, once again, is XRP. Not in price action. We can see that XRP is sat just above $3, not near its all-time highs. However, it's the fundamentals that are behind the scene that we are excited about. Not really the price, but where we know it's going. Again, no one knows where it's going. This is not financial advice. Please do not buy or sell based off anything I say. Please don't do that. I do not know your situation. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you to sell. This is just my thoughts, my opinions, and I'm sharing it with you here today. So what I want to go through is a few things. One is the SEC case update. Two would be the ETF updates. Number three would be, is this the last chance to buy it before $10? Because I want to go through all of those opinions, all of my thoughts, and then also get onto your questions and your opinions on it all. So, I think a lot of people are frustrated that XRP didn't blast through all-time highs and go to our targets, $4, $5, $7, $10, $12, $33, some of the targets we've put out there, which are all possible. Obviously some more unlikely than others, like my best case bull case scenario, my highest target of this cycle, I don't see it going any higher than this, but my absolute moon bag, the bit that will be holding a tiny bit of XRP for would be $33 this cycle. I really don't think that's going to happen. Then as we go lower, the more likely it is to happen again. I don't think it's likely to happen, but $18. Then we start getting more likely $13, $11, $8, $7.50, $6, $35, $34, $70. These are much more achievable targets in my eyes. And obviously I'm a high risk investor, so that's the targets I'm waiting to sell. I haven't really sold any of my XRP. In fact, I've been accumulating in the previous few months. I did sell some of my leverage positions at around these all-time high levels. Why? Well, because I said it was getting overextended. I said Bitcoin dominance had come down too much. I was expecting a $3 XRP, and that's exactly what we got. And my dubious speculation for the next sort of 3 months would be XRP going sideways for the month of August. Going into the middle of September, we could start getting that momentum to break all-time highs with quite a significant volume and start heading up to some of these bull market targets around $4.70, $4.50. Going into October, bring that higher to potentially some more of our targets of $5, $7. Why? Well, because in October, if we look over here, it's all in the newsletter. I always bring out the newsletter and give you my thoughts. This is from a few issues ago. We were talking about the ETFs. And these ETF deadlines are coming up in October the 18th, October the 19th, October the 20th, October the 24th, October the 25th. And my experience and what I've noticed is when they want to bring out ETFs, they bring them out in a batch. When the SEC approves it, they like to approve a few at the same time, not to give anyone an advantage. So not many people are talking about this. In fact, I haven't seen anyone. Everyone just talks random stuff about XRP. They don't actually follow it. They just want the clicks, and they just want to. I'm not saying everyone. I'm saying about 95% of people I see. In fact, I haven't seen one person reporting on XRP the way we report on XRP. And it's the facts. The facts are there's a 245-day deadline. And that 245-day deadline is when the SEC doesn't say, let's extend it. They only have two options: approve or deny. Approve or deny. And I think, along with Bloomberg analysts who are giving it a 95% chance of an XRP ETF this year, I would say that time for the ETF will be in October. Can it happen before? Yes. Can it happen after? Yes. Do I think it's most likely to happen in October? Yes. So I'm not saying it's 100% on these dates that we're going to get the approval, but I think it will be around the 20th of October. Each of these deadlines, I think it'll be a yes, 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 yes. And I think we'll have 7 days of this ETF's approved, this ETF's approved, this ETF, Grayscale, 21 shares, Bitwise, Canary Capital, Wisdom Trees, Coin Shares, Franklin Templeton. I think we'll just get a flurry of XRP ETF approvals on these dates. But I think the market hasn't started thinking about this yet. And once the mainstream news and bigger channels and bigger influencers start understanding this news, and people that don't even care about XRP start realizing this news, they will start buying it up. Buy the rumor, sell the news. So I think the rumor will start being bought up, not in August. Potentially it can be. Obviously the real investors are going to be buying it. However, in September, I think that a month away from everyone thinking that ETF is going to be approved, that's when the real build-up is going to start in September, a month before these ETFs. Could it happen sooner? Could we be at all-time highs by the time the ETF gets approved? I think we would be. I think there could be possibly a sell the news around these dates, just like we saw with the Bitcoin ETF, a massive run-up. Until the spot ETF got approved, we got a bit of a decline. I think it was for a week or on the day as well. The next week, Bitcoin just continued into this bull market that we're seeing unfold right now. And that was all from that time of the buy the news for the ETF, buy the rumor, sell the news of the ETF, then continuing buying up because of the fundamental buying pressure that ETF brought for Bitcoin. I think the same situation will happen with XRP. So I think no one's going to really start caring about this news for another month. And that will be sort of maybe the end of August, beginning of September. Then they'll be starting to buy it up. So what's going to happen in the meantime? Well, again, this is just my thoughts, my speculation. It would be incredible if I'm right, but I won't be worried if I'm wrong because I'm already in. It doesn't really matter. I have a plan for when it goes up. I mean, at the end of the day, none of this matters if you just know these three things. Are you prepared for XRP to go into a bear market and go down 80, 70%? I know we won't be happy, but are you prepared? Is it going to affect your life? Is it going to be terrible? If that is the case, then you need to sort out your portfolio. So that's one thing. Are you prepared for XRP to go sideways for months and months and months? If you are, perfect, you don't need to worry. Are you prepared for XRP to reach your targets $5, $10, $20, $30, $100? If you're prepared for all three of those scenarios, down, sideways, up, you don't even need to care about any of this. But of course, if you want a bit more of an edge or starting to understand how markets work for the next time round, all this sort of stuff, then we can start dubiously speculating. Why not? I imagine that over the next month, we will start just having some sideways moving action until people start hopping on the train of an XRP ETF approval. Then we will probably be at all-time highs, I would imagine, in September, October. So in the meantime, from now until September, what do I see? Well, I'm not saying there's not going to be massive volatility or news that comes out like the SEC case, which I'll come on to in a second. I'm just saying we're not going to hit $10, $5 or $2 within the next month. I'm not expecting any major volatility. So please do hit the like button if you are watching live. We've got 300, how many people do we have watching? About 270 people. If all 272 people hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. I know we won't get that many, but if we can get 150 likes, I would really do appreciate it. Please do hit subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. So I imagine over the next month we will get some sideways moving action with some sudden moves as well, but very much within the range of around this $3 level. We might get a little breach of all-time highs on some SEC news and then coming back down. On some bad news or market corrections, we might come down to $2.62. So I think that this range will be fairly large where it can go, but nothing too significant. I don't think we're going to get a massive crash to $2, and I don't think we're going to get a massive rally to $4, for example. I think we're going to go pretty much sideways for the next month, which gives time for these institutions to accumulate, for people to accumulate, and then it might be the last chance before $10, because once we get into September, and I think the hype will really start around then, because everyone's going to be pricing in the ETF approval. That's when I start thinking in September we can start looking at new all-time highs, $5, $4.70, $4.20, even $6, $7. ETF gets approved, maybe a potential crash on the day, a sell the news event, and then a final move up in October alongside the rest of the altcoin market, because it's not only going to be XRP ETFs that will be approved. That's what we're focusing on because we're XRP investors. But at the same sort of time, I haven't looked into it, but I know there's other ETFs that Bloomberg analysts give an over 75%, an over 90% chance of approval. I think that includes Solana, Litecoin, some major altcoins, and that I think will also start driving the altcoin season. So what's going to happen in the meantime? I think it's time for Bitcoin to go on its next big run towards the upside. So I think in the meantime, what's going to happen is altcoins are going to go sideways for the month of August. Bitcoin potentially starts leading the show. You can see perfect accumulation for Bitcoin, a move up, consolidation above 116,000. I think it's got targets of 130,000 and 144,000. Its final major targets for Bitcoin potentially. That would lead into a Bitcoin dominance spike up. We're already sort of seeing it unfold. I drew this yesterday, I predicted the crash on Bitcoin dominance. Then I said I'm predicting a sort of a double bottom, either a double bottom or a higher low, and then a final spike in Bitcoin dominance. That could go alongside Bitcoin leading the show, outperforming altcoins in the month of August. Bitcoin dominance then making a decision whether Bitcoin dominance either creates a lower high, the same high, or a slightly higher high, and then the final collapse of Bitcoin dominance alongside these altcoin ETF approvals, especially XRP ETF approvals, and then a collapse in Bitcoin dominance potentially to the lows we saw in 2020 or slightly higher. That would result in an altcoin season we haven't seen yet. That will probably come hopefully with the Fed cutting rates and introducing a bit more money into the system. Potentially FOMC meeting this week. They're not going to cut rates in my opinion. But next, I think they're going to indicate that they're going to start cutting rates. That's my prediction anyway. And I think next meeting there will be cutting rates and then another rate cut, and then that could really start the altcoin season in a couple months from today. But I think it's time for Bitcoin dominance to go on its next big run towards the upside. So let me see if there's any other ETF news I can bring to you. No. Well, you can always, if you like, take a screenshot of that to just keep an eye on the 345-day deadline, because that's the most important deadline right now for the ETFs. But what other news we have today? Martyn's going to cover it, so I don't want to go too much into it. If you've got the newsletter, of course, you can obviously already be looking at all of this and following along while we're doing this. There's people calling me pessimistic in the chat. I love it. I hope it goes much higher. Here is the link for the newsletter. Every single day you get the top 5 stories, the market snapshot, the charts, the deep dives, everything, every single day. If you're an investor, you need the news, and this is the best way of getting the news, in my opinion anyway. Alongside that, you've got all the bullish stuff that's going on with XRP. You've got the tokenization, you've got the RLUSD, you've got the Genius Act, you've got the there's actually companies now buying XRP as a treasury asset / utility. So they're taking MicroStrategy's strategy of buying Bitcoin and holding it as a reserve asset, but they're taking it one-fold higher. They're buying XRP not only because they think it's going to rise in value, but because they also want to use the utility of XRP. They also want to use the utility of XRP and use it in their transactions. Thank you, RB. Okay, cool. Everyone's calling me unnecessary bearish. I love it. Let's go to the chat now. Let me see what everyone's saying. I don't mind. So everyone has their own opinions. Maybe I am too bearish. $10 XRP when we bought it at 30 cents. Maybe I'm too bearish with a 50x prediction on XRP. I don't know. You have to remember we've been here for we're not just new and we're trying to look where we go from $3. We've been here for years, streaming with 30 people watching live at 30 cents. 30 cents, after 30 cents, after 33 cents, 38 cents. That's when we've been looking at XRP. And from then to now, we're already 10x. So, and I'm expecting another 3x. I'm expecting about a 30x or a 35x. I don't know. Is that too bearish for people? I don't know. Let's see what everyone's thoughts are. We do have a poll running. 91% of you hold XRP. I love it. Good morning, everyone. Hope things are well. If you are here watching live, please do hit the like button. Let me see if I can go through these comments quite quickly. Thank you, Steve. I haven't been looking at it. Good morning, everyone. I bought some flare yesterday. Happy to see an uptick, Stu. Well, you got in. Well, you've already made, I don't know, 6, 7, 8%. Congratulations to you. I think we are going below $3, or is it? Do I think it's a new floor? Look, on X last week, everyone was saying, or the big accounts were saying, we're never going to see a $3 XRP again. And then I just replied to it and I said, we definitely are going to see a $3 XRP again. And we did see a $3 XRP again. Now, your question is slightly different. Is $3 the new floor? I wouldn't say it's the new floor. I don't think it's black as white as that. I think it's very strong. I think it's fairly strong support. I think $2.62 is a level that I would be looking at as even stronger support. So $3 for now, yes, it's sort of the new floor. However, don't put it past it that something causes XRP to come down to $2.62, and it won't be. It doesn't even have to be a massive news-driven story. It can just be the altcoins fading against Bitcoin or Bitcoin coming down slightly. XRP can easily lose $3 and come down to $2.62 for a quick move back up. So don't think that there's no chance XRP goes below $3. It can. It probably will. But be prepared for it not to, as well as be prepared for it to go below $3. For what it's worth, I woke up this morning and had a dream that XRP and others or skyrocketing it, and I've seen a sticker on my wife's phone that says XRP $9.99, and I was scrambling for my phone. You were ready to sell it all. Do you believe crypto cycle similar to... It's a little bit different, but look, I'm not going to change my opinion until it breaks. I mean, the cycles have worked out pretty well previously. Is this one slightly different? Well, yes, they're all slightly different, but the whole thesis of having an altcoin season is part of every crypto cycle. We haven't seen it yet, and I'm not going to believe that there's not going to be one until I see it. I'm going to be prepared for there not to be one, but I still think all the elements of the cycle are going to stay pretty similar. People should be more chilled. Yeah, if you're more chilled, then you're probably going to make better decisions. Any new updates about XRP? Yes, we're covering them in the show. XRP will explode at some time. Yeah. Thank you for your thoughts. Hope you found your phone. Don't worry, XRP will make it. I appreciate your clarity. I've been calling out people on Twitter who are spreading false hopes. Thanks for grounding me. Stu, thank you so much. I mean, look, we're not here to spread false hopes and fake news. There's no point. There's enough good news. There's a 30x potential on XRP, 30 cents to where we're expecting it to go. What's the point of bringing out fake news when there's something so good in front of us? Good morning, Sensei, Clark Norris, and all. Last chance to buy at low money. Grab it and make history. Thank you, Jim, for your thoughts. I don't give advice. Bought XRP both yesterday and today. Congratulations with your purchases. Are you suggesting that the timing of the cycle will be different from past cycles in terms of length against Bitcoin halving? I haven't looked at the dates and the lengths. I don't think the length... We've seen in different cycles, different lengths anyway. I do have a very good tool that I could possibly bring up on the screen, but I don't know if I can right now. Let me see. Let me go here for a second and see if I can bring a tool up on the screen to have a look. Let me see. ROI after halving. Just having a look at this this chart over here. So this is a return on investment after the halving. This is Bitcoin to the peak. So you can see different cycles are different. So this cycle in blue is the first cycle. If we were going off the first cycle, we should already be at the peak. But each cycle is not the same. In cycle 2, it was we're quite a few months away from that peak, and in cycle 3 is there. So you can see we've got all of this time left, which is about in line. So what would that be? The 10th for the 17th. Yeah, it's still in line. Another sort of 100 days we've got left. If you're comparing it to last cycles, that Bitcoin should peak. Of course, you can see the return on investment of Bitcoin is much lower, but you do expect diminishing returns as the cycles go on. But you can see we're around 460 days, or around 460 days. Right, today we're about 465 days from the halving. But you can see the last 2 cycles that they're extending a little bit. So maybe 550 days, about 600 days is what we're expecting for the cycle, or 500 days, which gives us another 150 days until Bitcoin historically has peaked, if you're taking it from days after halving. So the cycle's not really that different. If we look at, what's this one, Litecoin, can we change? No, we can't change the ROI after sub-cycle bottom. Yeah, I mean, it's not very different to previous cycles. Of course, each cycle is a little bit different, but it's not majorly different. Altcoin season index is over here. Yeah, you can see we're not at an altcoin season as of yet. We did have that spike up. We're in the middle of neither. I think it's time for a Bitcoin season. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I can use for cycles. On-chain charts. Address activity. Have a look at XRP. Yeah. Nothing's too different at the moment. I wouldn't say we start thinking of different scenarios. I think the base scenario is we're still in these crypto cycles, and until we see anything that suggests otherwise to a significant extent, that's what I'm going to go off. Are you suggesting, but always be prepared for all scenarios is what I say. Prior to the ISO standard, who says XRP to $10? I believe XRP will go to $10 a cycle. Been holding XRP since 32 cents. Its time has come. I think $6 by the end of the year. I think that's very possible. Good morning, Rooster lovers. Okay, let's go through these comments quicker. Not smart to say publicly that you own XRP. Don't make yourself a target for cyber attacks, scammers. Yeah, thankfully YouTube. I mean, do what you like, but they're not going to. There's no one can really access who said yes or no in the poll. And also, anyway. As long as you have your XRP on a cold wallet, then you're fine. And someday the market cap is only a number, but not today. It will be very disappointing to see it go that low, but it will not affect my way of life. Perfect, Matthew. It will be disappointing, but as long as it doesn't affect your life, then that's perfect. Richard, I hope nobody holds XRP. Highly doubt it goes below $3 again. Thank you for your opinion. You're far too conservative. I consolidated for 7 years. Do you think it won't rip erratically? Sunset, I don't know what you mean. It's not going to go straight to $100. What's your target for this cycle? I personally think it'll run up to around the middle of September, and then from there we'll be looking at 60-70% drop. It happens every time, and every time everyone thinks it will keep going. Yeah, I mean, when like I can't put a date on it, but at some point when we're in the middle of an altcoin season, which we might be, we might not be. If we're going off past cycles, I still believe we're going to have an altcoin season, just not yet. During an altcoin season, they typically last between 2 weeks and a maximum of 2 months. Everyone will say it's going to go higher, it's going to go higher, it's going to go higher, and then it doesn't go higher. And at some point, it will peak and it will drop hard, fast, quick, and everyone will panic. Everyone will be, but I don't know. It's going to be an absolutely. If we get an altcoin season, it'll be absolutely crazy. People are going to be buying, people are going to be selling, people are going to be losing money, people are going to be losing their house. I mean, it's an awful time. It's the time where you need to that's why you plan for the altcoin season today, not when the frenzy is happening. So you know exactly what price you're going to sell, so you don't get over leveraged, so you don't trade on emotion. And we've talked about take profit strategies before, but this is the sort of time, and it's getting a bit too late now, because we're getting very close to potentially a massive altcoin season. Bro, I'm even providing liquidity for XLM and HBAR. Realistically, I think the top is going to be about $5 to $7, but I would be over the moon if it went higher, but can't see it. Yeah, most of my profits will be taken by the time we hit $8, so I'm going to be taking profits up. I've got it all on the chart: $4.50, $5.50, $6, $7, $8, $10. So many bearish creators, but the real chart analysts say otherwise. Sunset, you're making me laugh a little bit. Who's the real chart analysts on X that just draw a line like this every other day and saying XRP is going to go to $100 tomorrow? Are those the real chart analysts? If you go and look at the real chart analysts, you're either looking at some big banks that this is their full-time jobs. You're looking at people that aren't there for clicks. You're looking at people that make money otherwise. So no real chart analyst is saying XRP is going to go to $20, $30, $50 this cycle, and that's guaranteed. This guy's from the UK, of course. He's pessimistic. Sunset, I guarantee, if you continue with this this sort of research that you're doing and believing all these hype people that are brainwashing you, you will lose within the cycle.
Robert said donated $4.99 through a super chat. Can you take a look at Bank Social? I think it works with Hedera.
Bank Social. Do we have a ticker for it? Bank Social. Thank you so much for the super chat, Robert Z. But can you give me a stock ticker? I'm assuming you want a. I assume you want a chart analysis. So just give me a ticker for the company, and I'll have a look at it. I can't find it on Bank Social. Sunset, please be careful. I do not want you to lose, but it sounds like you will. Sunset, back in 2021, everyone was also saying it's different this time. None of us know how it's going to play out, but look at the psychology behind a bull run. It's exactly the same sentiment. Exactly. It's not clueless, just unnecessarily bearish. I just don't want anyone to lose, and the way you're presenting your comments, it just seems like you are way too bullish, and that you won't be able to take profits this cycle. Look, I'm not here to give financial advice. You've got your own opinions, brilliant, but just be careful. You're calling people the real chart analysts. Who are these analysts? Because I know real chart analysts. I consider myself a retail chart analyst. I know what I do. I'm profitable for myself. However, when you say real chart analyst, who are you referring to? Because I'm already referring to some people posting on X or some people that are there for clicks, telling you what you want to hear, not what the chart actually says. because no real chart analyst will ever give you a prediction of a $100 XRP or a $50 XRP or $20 XRP within a year, 2 years, 3 years. That's not how chart analysts work. That's pure speculation. SEC lawsuit, yes. I'll come on to that news. Where were we? I've lost it. Wow, we've got a lot of comments coming in. You are far... God, here we go again. You're far too conservative. It consolidated... I think I've read these comments. Sensei, Amundi 6 ARP, isn't that an XRP ETF? Eli B, I haven't heard of that, but there is no XRP spot ETFs in the US or the UK at the moment. Not clueless, but own opinion as we all do. Yes, and entry at 0.44 cents entry. Should I take profits or on the next month or just hold? Nicholas Davies, it's certainly up to you. I mean, congratulations, holding XRP at 0.44, nearly at a, 7x, 8x on your investment. That is incredible work. There is nothing wrong with you taking profits, securing. I mean, even taking your initial investment out, there's nothing wrong with that. Then you're playing with the house's money. If you lose, you lose. But I'm holding, but I'm very, very risky. I'm very, very bullish on XRP. And if it goes down, then I don't care. If it goes up, then I'm happy. If it goes sideways, then it doesn't affect me either. So, Nicholas, that's a question you have to answer yourself. How would you feel if XRP goes down 50, 60, 70%? Because that's possible. How would you feel if XRP goes up 2, 3, 4x? Because that's also possible. What would hurt more? Free wannabe, but the difference is genuinely is different. The cases over ETFs are coming up. But the difference is it's genuinely is different. Yeah, I mean, if that wasn't happening, the price wouldn't be at $3.14 today. It's half of it's already baked into the price. Would love it to go higher as a holder, but I'm quite cautious, having sat through the previous cycles and not pulling profits early enough. Exactly. That's why I'm laddering out. My strategy is laddering out. I'm not waiting for I mean, everyone has their own strategy. My strategy is I want to take some profits. So that's why I'm starting with lower targets and then selling at different levels, because I definitely want to take profits this cycle. SEC lawsuit, yes, we'll come on to that. Agree, do you feel... Of course, this year is different. I mean, this is the most... I think this is... 2021, XRP was certainly suppressed. That's why it didn't make new all-time highs. It was... This time is obviously different, but it's also being baked into the price that it is different. We wouldn't see XRP at all-time highs if it wasn't different this year. The fundamentals are extremely bullish. Things have changed. The crypto climate is so bullish. You think $3 in the floor? I answered that. Hey up, banana heads. Hello Vaz, how are you doing? Morning folks. Let's see some pump action. Good morning. SEC lawsuit. Yes, we'll come on to that. As long as it never goes below my buy-in, I'm okay. Anything moving forward is good. RB, what's your buy-in? Or you don't have to answer that question. I think it's not the lowest, is it? It's around $2 or something like that. Good morning, Sensei. Woke up to a nice surprise with go up some. Good morning, Sensei. Oh, brilliant, David Hensley. Congratulations to you. Sensei, you need a clock like Martyn, so when I have to leave for a bit, I know where to start back. A clock. I will get that sorted. Let me write that down. A clock on my scenes. A clock. Good idea. Clock. You could also just pause it, can't you? A chart. Expert chart analysts are extremely bullish. Who are Sunset? You're. I'm sorry, but you are really sounding not too. I'm not being rude. I'm just trying to make sure the content you are consuming is of quality, because you're saying expert chart analysts. Just give me some names and I'll go and we can have a look at them right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are expert chart analysts. I severely doubt it. Sunset, expert chart analysts are extremely bullish on XRP. What are their names and what are their targets? You people are delusional and lol, have fun selling. We'll do what's right for us. You do what's right for you. I personally believe XRP will go back to $2.77 mark before bouncing up to over $4. That is one of our scenarios. $3, $2.62 is both areas I do see XRP going potentially in the next month before the real move up, if it does happen. Would you and Martyn ever discuss tax saving strategies in the UK allowing new wealth to be kept? We have to be very careful. We can't really talk about anything about giving advice. Of course, we can talk about different strategies, but not in your context. However, and if you do want to talk to a financial advisor, I did used to work at a firm, so I can definitely get you in contact. I sold and bought back, looking to 3x my XRP. Hold, and you lose out on gaining XRP, extra XRP. Yeah, there you go. The amount of times we bought and sold XRP live on the show: $2, sold at $3.50, bought at $2, constantly accumulating more and more XRP. That's one strategy. It might not be right for everyone. Any insight on Omni? It's up 110% in one day. Omni is up 110%. What? Omni? I've definitely heard of it. I don't think I've got any money in it. Omni USD. And it's on Coinbase. Oh my god, look at that. 150% right now. It's just gained $100 million market cap. I've definitely have heard of Omni, and I've heard good things about Omni. I don't know why I don't own any though. Brilliant. Well, we've missed another one. There we go. This is what altcoin season is going to look like, though. Just random coins going up 100%, 150%. XRP up 30% in a day. I mean, if you haven't experienced the proper altcoins run, then it's going to be a hell of a ride. What a relief. My average is $2.61 for XRP. Good morning. So far hitting new all-time highs. Thank you, David. Should we be buying or selling? I don't give advice. Thank you. And God bless you for what you've done for my family. Nelson, I very much appreciate it. But remember, that's all your decisions are your own. We're just here to bring the community together and dubiously speculate. Let's have a look over here. $10 October, then higher after ETFs. Thank you for that. Ondo seems to be cheap right now. Yeah, I like Ondo. Can you take a look at Bank Social? Yes, I'm going to keep an eye out for your comment, Robert. Did you give me a ticker? In your opinion, Sensei, when and what do you think is a good price to get out of Dogecoin whilst trying to maximize profits without trying to time the top? In my opinion, what would I be doing with my Dogecoin? Again, not financial advice, my thoughts only. Well, I'm quite bullish, so I'm expecting the altcoins to have a sort of a good run. If you're just looking at all the targets and you want to make sure you secure some profits, then the next target's 34 cents. The next target after that's 44 cents. The area I would probably be looking to sell would be maybe start at 44 cents if I'm trying to be fairly conservative, and then at the or just below the previous all-time highs, potentially 786 if we bring this down to here. Potentially also around 60 cents as well. As the 786, then the all-time highs at 74 cents, and then probably just below $1 as well. So 35 cents, 44 cents, 60 cents, 74 cents, and just below $1. Can it go higher than that? Yeah, it can probably go to $2-3 in a proper altcoin season, but it depends. If you want to be conservative, those are the levels. Top XRP $12. I think he means H-bar. Smash that like button, says RB. Yes, please do hit the like button if you have just come into the show, or if you haven't hit it yet. I do appreciate that. Doge is going to have an ETF. I'm pretty sure it will. Yes. Social score. I think he means H-bar, social score. I'll wait for Robert Z to clarify. Got to lose a little to win a lot. XRP, Flare and Sui for the long term. Thank you. I do like XRP and Flare. I have heard good things about Suri, but I don't hold any myself. I wish you the best of luck. Just, okay. I've been on a roller coaster ride of XRP, seeing profits from $500 to $1,000 vanish, but hey, I'm up a solid 42%. Congratulations, Matthew. Sensei, how do you feel about VeChain? I don't think it's going to make new highs. I think it's probably, I like the technology. I think it's, back in 2021, the claims were it's very much, people didn't like that it was a Chinese coin. I think it's probably a last cycle token, but that doesn't mean an altcoin season won't perform really, really well. And I think I still do own some VeChain. So I do still hold VeChain, but don't start basing it off 2021 prices, because there's no guarantee lots of these coins from previous cycles make it to the highs that they did in 21 or any other cycle. But they can still make considerable gains. Like Filecoin, for example, there's no way it's going to make the highs it did in 2021, or I have zero confidence in that happening. However, because the highs were about $250 today, it's at around $2.50. But that doesn't mean it can't go to $10, $20, $30. I'm just not targeting the 2021 highs. Just be careful when you look at charts, because all the retail will come in and they'll start targeting, or the new retail will start coming in and start targeting 2021 highs, because that's what they see on a Coinbase chart. They look at a chart and go, wow, it definitely should go back to that price, but it rarely does. So they'll be buying it up, we'll be selling, and then it will just be a lower high. And then they'll realise what to do next cycle. Does anyone remember how to submit a ticket? Yes, Robert Z, you go on to Discord, and you click, I think there's a very clear, it's literally on the side when you're on Martyn's Discord, you just go under support, there's a chat called help ticket, you scroll up and you press create ticket. Evening all, I'm late to the party. Jay Harrington, no worries at all. XDC IOTA are where I'm putting my money right now. Much better chance of 2-3x at this time than XRP, but hold XRP buying them both. Congratulations, Jesse. I'm glad you have a strategy. XDC gang, autocorrect. Unless giveaway tickets. XRP, yes, we do have a $1,000 XRP giveaway at the moment. Let me see if I can give you the link. martynlucas.com/giveaway. If you want to participate in a $1,000 XRP giveaway, here is the link. Let me pin that as well. If you haven't, it's free for all. No paywalls or anything. It is just a free $1,000 giveaway. Now that we're approaching 100,000 subscribers. Fully prepared for a crash. I believe in the utility of XRP. That's perfect. It's just genuinely, it boils down to, are you prepared for a crash? Are you prepared for sideways action? And are you prepared for the moon? If you're prepared for all three of them, you're doing something right. You've got the right amount invested. You are prepared for all scenarios. You're going to come out on top because you're prepared for them. I'm not saying you're not going to be upset if it goes down. Anyone will be upset if they lose money, but are you prepared for it? Can you survive? And by survive, I mean not just the bare minimum. Is it going to affect your quality of life? Is it disposable money, potentially? So if you're prepared for the downside, sideways action, and upside, then you are all good. I've just lost one of my screens. I don't know how that's happened. This is very interesting. Oh, no, we're back. That was strange. Fully prepared for it. Let me just make sure we're running okay. You are all good. I've just lost one of my screens. No, we're good. So let me just get through these questions. Martyn's going to be going live with a very special XRP video. He's got a lot of information as well. After this, let me just go through these comments. I love whoever it is that copies me with emojis. XRP USD 10,000 is very conservative. We've lost what was her name? We lost her in the chat. She didn't come back with those expert crypto analysts. Hi, Sensei, just joined. What's your view on H-bar? I like H-bar. What is happening with the SEC lawsuit? I saw rumours on X that the appeal would be withdrawn on Thursday, but also see these rumours most Thursdays. We won't know until it happens. I think there is a closed door meeting coming up again on Thursday. But my opinion is, I've said for the last 3 weeks that this week is when I think it will happen. When I give it a sort of 50% chance of happening, but I don't think we can try and predict it beforehand. I've got some news on it, but nothing that tells us when it's going to happen. Hang in there, you're doing great. I have to get off the grind for the day. RB, thank you very much for tuning in. What's a good amount to XRP to buy? I got it RB. Do you know if it's today or tomorrow rate cut announcements? It's tomorrow, live on the show, so make sure you're subscribed. Martyn, I haven't actually heard Martyn's opinion recently, but I said last time round, no rate cuts, and I don't know if Martyn still thinks that there will be rate cuts. I don't think so. But just go down. What's going on? How do I see a comment? One second, I'm just trying to see what this is. Can't find it. Let me just go over here. Oh, it's just a swear word. It's nothing bad. Okay, thank you, Stacey. It's just been released on South Korean exchange. Thank you. Is there proposed Great British Pound stablecoin? Yes, there are. A tax shaving strategy I've been doing in the UK is ensuring that I record any losses every year in the bear market on a self-assessment. So when I do cash out on profit, I can offset it against my loss. Mortgage-free wannabe, that is a brilliant thing to do. Definitely do that. And I think it's, if you report it within 4 years, so you can backtrack of 4 years, and once you report that there's a loss, you can use it, I think, forever. So definitely worth putting those losses down on a self-assessment. What altcoins do you think has the highest gain potential entering into right now? Oh wow, I don't know. Filecoin, not investment advice. I think it could do pretty well. Thank you for your thoughts. Satoshi Pekamoto, save the rooster sound. Thank you, Sensei. I want to get a sentiment about it. What you have said is about what I was thinking, except the $2 to $3 the part intrigued me. Yeah, Seth Houston. So if the all-time high was previously 70 cents, you can expect a 3x from the previous all-time highs on a coin that comes back. For example, with XRP, if the all-time highs was $3, 3x from that is about $9. If you look at Bitcoin, all-time high was 60,000. You can probably maybe expect 190,000. Of course, that requires a lot more money. But something with like Dogecoin, a 3x from its all-time high isn't definitely not impossible. Or like Ethereum, if the all-time high was 3,000, 4,000, you can expect a $10,000 Ethereum, all that sort of stuff. So $2 to $3 is certainly possible for Dogecoin, but I definitely wouldn't bank on it, especially if I'm trying to be a bit more, if I actually want to get some profits out of it. What about, I am predominantly a stockholder. The only crypto I have is XRP 5 years. Congratulations, Nelson. We've probably been doing better than the crypto market then over the last 5 years. Sensei, what do you think of Hint? Never heard of it. XDC is the sleeping giant. Let's get through these. People used to think Bitcoin was expensive at $5. It's also relative, exactly. For me personally, crash equals buy more. Same for me. Bank Social is on the Hedera network and it'll be huge. Thank you, Steve Mariano. If it crashes, I'm backing up the truck and accumulating more. I'll always accumulate regardless of price action. Sound is... please do refresh if you're having a sound issue. It's not on my end. Otherwise, everyone would be screaming at me. Don't be surprised to see a $10 XRP this cycle before a drop back to $4 in a bear market. That is that is $10 and $4 seems pretty appropriate. Is HBAR cheap at 27? or 27 cents. It's not cheap. It's been much cheaper before, but in the grand scheme of things, if it does what it's supposed to, then yes, in the long term, it could possibly be very cheap at this time. Zebek is going. Thank you for your thoughts, Jesse. When manipulators say deep, XRP Army says how deep. Sensei, a few expert analysts told me that XRP will hit $150 this month, but then I woke up and realised it was a dream. Oh, I love it, MSK. Thank you for that comment. How upset was Martyn about all the Rooster comments? Does the Rooster stay in on the show? Paul D, I didn't actually manage to catch much of Martyn's show. You guys have to tell me, what did he say about the Rooster? Did you annoy him enough in yesterday's opening bell? What was Martyn's thoughts on it? Just a question, do you and Martyn ever cover IPOs? Yeah, we definitely cover IPOs. I think one of Martyn's very first videos was an IPO coverage. I was thinking with the EU-US trade deal, the market would boost more. Yes, there is if you, Marcus, look at the newsletter from today. That's not from today, this one's from today. We've got a story on it. Trade deal rally loses steam as market fatigue sets in. Trade deal, no one cares. You can read all about it in today's newsletter. Remember, this newsletter I think is brilliant. If you go and try and find some news or it pops up, you never get the news you want. Every single day I go and look at the news. I know what my target market is, and even just people that want to know the real news, and I put it in the newsletter. What happened? I gave you all the details of what happened with Trump and Starmer. I gave you a story on gold. I gave you a story on Circle USDC. I gave you that story that you just brought up in the comments. A big story about Revolut for the UK viewers as well. Everything about XRP and there's an XRP story. Anything that's happening today, you've got it here. You've got the UK bank consumer credit going on today. The US good trade balance. You've got the Bank of Canada monetary policy announcement, and you've got earnings of United Health, PayPal, UPS, Visa, and Boeing. I think we're covering tonight as well. Then you've got tomorrow with all the FOMC. You've got the chart of the day. Everyone wants to know about what my thoughts are on an XRP, and you get it all in the newsletter every single day. So do please go check out the newsletter. I'll give you the link to the newsletter if you haven't signed up for it. And there's a free plan, there's a monthly plan, there's an annual plan, there's a founder plan. There's one for everyone. There is the link. Have you kindly no? Great show. Let's see where we are next week. Thank you. I thought the trade deal would have much better impact. Yep, I just answered that. Closer to clearing the mortgage off. Oh, mortgage free wannabe. That is very, very good to hear. XRP holders here, but what's going on with, I don't have any information. Is anyone else experiencing losing sensei every 2 seconds before he returns to a new sound again? I don't think so. Mortgage free wannabe, that is very, very good to hear. XRP holders here, but what's going on with, I don't have any information. I think we're all good. Just refresh your stream, refresh. Sometimes YouTube has these issues. Good morning from DFW. Woke up to a boatload of money from Omni. Happy Tuesday. Yes, we've just seen it. Congratulations. Don't forget to take profits. I plan on taking profits by leveraging out and then selling a lump sum at almost the top and then holding a few bags for that $2 to $3. Yeah, moon bag. Yeah, moon bag. Yeah. It makes sense if you to just have a little moon bag for what it can be. I plan to take profits by leveraging out, then selling leveraging out. I don't know quite what you mean by that, Seth Houston. The Rooster sent me. I own XRP 2X ETF. Congratulations. Be careful. It's pretty expensive. We've got thank you, Stacey. I don't know what those comments are. I'm not going to open them there. Oh, it's just spamming. What is HBAR? What utility does it have? I guess I could do research myself, lol, but maybe a quick synopsis would be appreciated. Thank you, William Johnson. Mart, to just keep going. I need to get ready to pass you over to Martyn. I can't hear the Rooster today. I can't hear the Rooster today either.
Swift Coin Hoarder donated $5 through a super chat. $SHX Analyze PLZZ.
Yes, I will do. Swift Coin Hoarder, thank you so much. I will do that right now. New, now mortgage free thanks to XRP Media Digitization Solutions. That is amazing to hear. Congratulations to you. Thank you for checking. I changed phone and it's all good now. No worries. And sometimes you just have to swipe off it. YouTube has some issues. Okay, SHX. I had faith in XRP and it's paying off in time. I own XRP in my cold wallet. Okay. I own XRP on my cold wallet and talked my BFF into getting herself some now. Now her daddy has an XRP bag too. Say Ray. Congratulations to you and your friend. That's great to hear that you're making money with XRP. Do make sure you're subscribed here because we always bring you the real XRP information. A lot of people just give you fake news. I'm happy you've got into XRP if it's right for you, but however you got into it, whether you were just hearing a lot of hype from other people or, I don't know, a lot of people come into the crypto market because they hear some fake news, but now you need the proper news now that you're invested in XRP and actually have a stake in it, and we provide that every single day, so make sure you're subscribed here, but I'm very glad for you and your friend. Meaning I'll sell a little as it goes up each time, but then keep a bit for the possible... Oh, okay, Sephew, so I thought you were going to like borrow against it or something. Should we have a morning well check for the rooster? I don't know. I haven't heard a single noise from the rooster this morning, which is very strange, I have to admit. Don't know what's going on. So here we go. What was the name of that token we just got requested? SHX. SHX. Never heard of it. Stronghold SAX. $100 million market cap, very, very small. Most tokens store value. SHX creates it. A climate-friendly cryptocurrency, right? A Discord server. Exchange with security and ease. The currency of loyalty. Yeah, well, I don't have time to look into that. I don't really know what all of that was about. Oh, we've got the link from Martyn. So let me just do this and then we'll move over to Martyn. It is, when I look at the chart, it's looking pretty good. Again, with these lower cap cryptocurrencies, it's very hard for me to give proper technical chart analysis. Proper chart analysis. You'll think I'd know what that word is since that's all I do. But because the market cap's pretty small. However, there is certain things I look at. And one is how has it been trading. And the good news is it came out in a bear market, it found its floor, and ever since it's been putting in higher highs and higher lows. That just, to me, when you look at the chart on a 3-day time frame, it doesn't scream to me it's a scam token. It doesn't scream to me there's no one buying it. It screams to me that it came out bear market, found a floor, and ever since has been people have been accumulating it, and people haven't been willing to sell for lower prices. So you've got this structure of higher highs and higher lows. So you are in the overextended phase at the moment. You might come back down to potentially a heart line, maybe coming back down to 1.5 cents, but it does look like to be on the right trajectory. Just having a look at some of these. Yeah, it is already up a lot, to be honest. How far is it up? It's already up about 4,000% from those bear market lows. However, the structure is good. The structure is good. It wouldn't be a large part of my portfolio. It's a very small cryptocurrency, probably very risky. But the fact that the structure looks good just means that there's people buying it. consistently buying it and not willing to sell at lower prices. So that structure is something you want to see on a chart, a low and then higher lows and higher highs. My targets would be, if I want to buy some more, potentially 1.5 cents. I would leave some just in case we go to 1 cent as well. But target wise on the way up, maybe 3. I mean, it depends if we have an altcoin season, if this catches the buzz. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to give any predictions, but in an altcoin season, you can expect about a 10x, can't you? So depends. There is no formal levels I can give you at this time. But thank you very much for your request. Really do appreciate it. Any news on our vein? No, I must confess that there was a time when I was feeling low about XRP, but thanks to yourself and Martyn, I held on to it. Thank you. No worries, Media Digitalization Solutions. We just try to give you information and you make your own decision. So what I'm going to do now is take you over to... I'll take you over to Martyn's show. So let me see, we've got the link here. If I click on it here, and I can give you the link. This is where we're going now for a big XRP show with Martyn. So make sure you go there. Tell him that the rooster sent you, even though the rooster didn't roost once today. There is the link for Martyn's show. Go straight over there. Tell him that the rooster sent you. And then also, if you haven't, we haven't gone through any of the newsletter today. If you haven't got the newsletter, there is the newsletter link. Go check it out. A lot of information in today's newsletter as well. So go and check it out. But we have to go over to Martyn now. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Go straight to Martyn's show. It's going to be an XRP special. He's got some news he's going to share with you. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.